Okay, good morning, my friends. So I had no audio on this yesterday, and so I'm going to try to go ahead and set this up and walk you through this post recording. I probably should have just re-recorded the whole thing, but we're going to try to do this way. So today, as we're working on Google Maps, you're going to add the pins, and so we do that by going to Google in Chrome, and we are going to go to our bookmarks and open up your My Maps. Now, if you're following along with this, you probably would have been able to do most of this by yourself, but it's okay. Once again, you probably only have one map that is a test map, but we're going to go ahead and create a new one. You do that by hitting the plus button down there at the bottom. Now, as soon as we create this new map, we want to make sure that we name it. And so if you click on the little legend button right there, we're going to tap right on the name, not on the three dots, but on the name, and it should give us the option. And we could pull the screen up a little bit if we wanted to see better what we're typing, but we would type in perfect vacation, capitalizing, space hyphen space, and your last name. And this is going to be your perfect vacation map. Okay, so now we have it named, and the simple thing to do is we want to make sure and do a search. We want to find out where you are taking off, where you're leaving from, if you're leaving from a dock, if you're leaving from an airport, and we do that by typing up in the search field. Remember I told you how important it was to know where you were going from, and so I chose the place that I would take off was LAX. Now, as you can see all over LAX, there's all the different locations, but that pin right there, that green pin, you can't edit because that green pin is a Google pin. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and search in on United because that's the airline that I flew from. You don't necessarily have to be this specific. You could just drop it somewhere close to the airport that you want to fly out from. But how we do that is we go up to the very top, and underneath the search bar, you'll see a little thing that looks like a pin. And we dropped these the other day. And so you're going to click on that one, and you're just going to tap where you want that to be. And it should give you 0.1. And we're just going to change that to whatever the place is. And so it may be Long Beach Pier. It may be some private airfield that you found. But this is our departure, and that's why I'm going to title Depart from LAX. And again, I could type in there, but I want to save first because now you can see all of those options pop up. Okay? Now, this is where we're going to start working together along with our Google Slides presentation. So we're going to tap on that picture, and we are going to choose from our files. And you're just going to select it, and it'll give you the option of going to your photo library. And to your photo library, you're going to just find the picture of your airplane. Now, you remember I had that great seat that reclined all the way, so we're going to use that seat, and we're going to recline there. And we're going to insert that picture. And that picture is going to create there. Now, I can add, there's a little plus button right there at the bottom, and I could add more pictures if I want. And I could either just find another picture, or I could hit that plus button. Now, I also want to make sure that the first picture I choose is going to be the one that I want to show up on the list. Now, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go to my P7, and I'm going to open my Perfect Vacation slideshow. Because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy the speaker notes. Now, do you remember I told you the spelling didn't matter in your speaker notes and all of those things didn't matter? That is true in your speaker notes, but now those speaker notes are going to be viewed. And so what I want to do is I want to turn on my speaker notes, and then I'm going to copy my text. Now, if your text is messed up, and remember how I didn't spell things right and I didn't capitalize things, we're going to fix that, but we're going to first select the whole thing. And you can do that just by dragging to the sides. And then we're going to copy that. We're going to double click on our home key and we're going to go back to our map, and in the description field we're going to paste that description. And then I'm going to proceed to clean up everything and make sure that I have capitals and make sure that I have in correct punctuation, because I will not be reading this. People will be seeing this right now. And so do you remember where I wrote out all of my prices and all of those kinds of things and just made it shorthand version? Well, we want to clean that up because this will be visible to people who see this map. So we're going to take a minute, we're going to clean up what we did, make sure that they're complete sentences, capitalized, all of that stuff. And so I'm going to take a minute and just do that. And I was telling you about all of that right now, but you couldn't hear me. So while I'm fixing that, what is black and white and red all over? You know the answer to that. It's a newspaper. Okay, now we're going to change the shape of the pen. And we do that by doing more icons, and very nicely you can actually see under transportation there is an airplane. And we're just going to click on that little airplane. And I'm going to choose different colors. I went back and forth and I chose orange, but you can see all the other orange pins, so I switched over to purple. Now you can pick whatever pen you want, but I want you to be consistent and use the same color all the way through. Now you'll see in the legend it pops up, and you see up at the top where I did that search? I'm going to get rid of that and just leave my untitled layer. Now, this is where it becomes important that I know where I'm flying to. And so I just did a search right here for Bora Bora International Airport, and it pops right up. And then I just select it. Once again, it's more important to me that you have an actual location. Again, we see the green pin, and remember, we can't edit that green pin, and you can see over in the legend where it shows up as a Google pin, but we're going to drop our own right there. And that should be pin 2. If it's pin 3 or 4 because you messed up, it doesn't matter. But we're just going to change those pins, and we're going to change that to our arrival location, Bora Bora International. Now, while I'm typing this, most of you probably did not do a picture for your arrival location. And so what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and hit the picture, and you're going to do a Google search, and it's over on that far left. Do a search, and you just do Bora Bora, or wherever your location is. Now, one of the things that people always do that kind of makes me crazy is they look for their airport and then they find this really boring picture of a plane sitting on the tarmac or the top, and that is so boring. But this happens to be a really cool picture, because look at how the airport actually lies right between the ocean and the lagoon. So I chose that one. Now yours, you may get a very cool picture. Some of the airports, especially like Paris and Hong Kong, have very cool airports. And so you might want to do an interior picture of that airport or something, but please don't do a really boring picture of your location where you're going to land. You could even use one of the pictures that you did of your airplane and include that there if you didn't include it on your first pin. Once again, we're going to choose that airplane. Now you'll notice that the more icons, because I used it recently, it pops up right there. I don't even have to do a search for it. Keep it purple or pink or yellow or whatever you chose. And you'll notice over on the left hand side in the legend it showed up once again. Okay, now here's the thing. Do you remember I told you needed locations? Well, here is where you're going to go on. And I'm going to leave you alone for a second and just kind of let you do this. But you're going to find your location. And I had to go back and look up what the name of my place was, and it was the Bora Bora Intercontinental. And I'm going to actually, while I'm there, take my price and everything, and I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to make my new pin by searching up Bora Bora Intercontinental. And the nice thing is, if you start to type it, you don't even have to finish it, because there it is, and it pops up right there. I'm going to select that, and it's going to show me the Bora Bora Intercontinental. Going to get rid of that pin, and I'm going to drop my own. Now, you know that mine had those bungalows that were out on the water. I could have dropped the pin. I could have like zoomed out or clicked on the Google Earth map and found one of the bungalows and tapped on it. But it's not necessary for this. But if you really wanted to make it look like that, you can do that. The reason I didn't put mine out on the bungalow is ultimately I want to do driving directions to get to here. And I'm going to paste my description, and once again I'm going to clean up that description, make sure it's all spelled correctly. Okay. All right, so you can kind of see that I'm just going to clean it up, but I didn't put my pin out over the ocean because I do want to make sure that I have driving directions. And that's not always going to be the case, but in this case I know that I can drive from the airport or get to there, and so we're going to do that on Thursday. So we want to do driving directions. Once we do that, we are also going to change the pin. We have to hit save first before we get those options. Now we have all the options. We can add the pictures, and we're going to add the pictures. If we have those multiple pictures of our hotel, we can just add all those pictures. You can pull them up off your camera roll. If you've saved them in your drive, you could pull them off your drive. And so I'm just going to do, one picture, but I would recommend doing all of your fun pictures that you downloaded here, and then people can scan through them. So you're going to pick one, you're going to go ahead and add it, and then you can come back later and add them in, okay? See that little, there's a little plus button, and we could add pictures. We're going to do that, do a search, and find the bed icon. Under more icons, change it to purple. Okay, and there we are. Now, once again, if I come into Legend, if I tap on any of those, I can edit those and add pictures to those pins and fix those as I need them. So my last thing is I'm going to include my 3 activities. And so my first activity that I was doing was swimming with the pigs. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add those activities at specific locations. And then over on the side, you will see 6 pins. Your departure, your arrival, your hotel or dock or house or whatever you're staying at, and then your 3 activities. And remember, you need to drop those pins. Now, for example, if your activity is out in the ocean, go ahead and put it out in the ocean. If your activity is up in the hills away from roads, go ahead and put it up in the hills away from the roads. Okay? But we can edit these, we can change these, we can do each of those pins all that we want. When you are all finished with this, I want you to come back and I want you to just take a screenshot that shows all 6 of your pins. Please don't turn in your map. Don't try to share it with me yet. Just turn in your 6 pins for me. Okay? I think I continued to talk and chat for some reason at this point, but I'm not going to anymore. Just take your screenshot, get her all turned in, and make sure that you upload your screenshot to Google Drive and rename it Google Maps Day 2 _space last name before you attach it in Classroom. And I will talk to you tomorrow. You guys have a fabulous day. Thanks for dealing with my weird audio issues. I will talk to you later, my friends.